While a good number of NFL GMs are more than thrilled with how the 2023 draft played out, there's no question that several others wish that they could have a complete do-over.
Carolina certainly not shy about where it stands on Stroud. A dozen members of the franchise showing up in Columbus for the Buckeyes Pro Day. Will it be number 1 overall to the Panthers?
If we went back a year ago in a time machine, how would the first round play out? Well, let's dive into a redraft of the star-studded 2023 NFL Draft class. Number 1, Carolina Panthers from Chicago Bears, C.J. Stroud. Bryce Young can't take all the blame for his disastrous rookie year, but the Panthers wouldn't hesitate to take C.J. Stroud in a redraft. Stroud won Offensive Rookie of the Year honors after throwing for 4,108 yards and 23 touchdowns against only 5 interceptions. He led the Houston Texans to the AFC South in a wildcard round win over the Cleveland Browns. Young has time to grow into a star, but Carolina wouldn't retake the risk in this redraft. They would play it safe and just take the best QB available. Number 2, Houston Texans, Bryce Young. We know, Young had a tough rookie year in Carolina, but compare a situation to what Stroud had in Houston, and I think you'll understand as to why we would go with Young here. Young would have a rising star at head coach in D'Amico Ryans, and a nice set of weapons in Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz, and Devin Singletary. And he'd play behind a stout O-line that allowed 18 less sacks than Carolina in 2023. Even if Young flopped in his rookie year with Houston, the long-term upside would be worth taking a chance on in this redraft. Number 3, Houston Texans from Arizona Cardinals, Will Anderson Jr. No change here. The Texans move up via the Arizona Cardinals and took the Alabama edge rusher with the number 3 pick, and boy did they hit the jackpot here. Anderson Jr. won Defensive Rookie of the Year honors after tallying 7 sacks and 10 tackles for a loss. Furthermore, he was 3rd in ESPN's pass rush win rate among edge rushers and 2nd in run stop win rate. Yeah, zero chance they'd redo this pick. Number 4, Indianapolis Colts, Anthony Richardson. Injuries limited Richardson to just 4 games in his rookie year, but there was a lot to like on his game tape. As such, we can't help but retain the Colts' original first-round selection in this exercise. Richardson threw for 577 yards and 3 touchdowns while racking up 4 rushing scores in the 4 games that he appeared in. His high upside is sky high, and we expect him to emerge as a true franchise-changing signal caller in Indianapolis, provided that he actually stays healthy. Number 5, Seattle Seahawks from Denver Broncos, Jalen Carter. Devin Witherspoon was a great pick at number 5, but the Seahawks' pass defense was a bit of a weakness due to the lack of help around him and Reek Woolen. The point being, it takes more than one elite corner to build a good secondary. So in this redraft, let's give Seattle Jalen Carter, who would shore up this team's need for an elite interior pass rusher and run-stopping force. He logged 6 sacks in Philly despite playing in a limited role, with Pro Football Focus grading him at 89.8 on the year. That is the 2nd best mark among rookies behind only Devon Achane. Number 6, Arizona Cardinals from Detroit Lions, Puka Nacua. Second-year tight end Trey McBride was the only Cardinal to hit 600-plus receiving yards last season. So yeah, receiver help is definitely needed here. Arizona wastes no time taking Los Angeles Rams star Puka Nacua, the number 177 selection of the draft. Nacua set the rookie records in receptions with 105 and in receiving yards with 1,486. An offense with Nacua, McBride, James Conner, and Kyler Murray looks like a top 10 unit on paper, no? Number 7, Las Vegas Raiders, Devin Witherspoon. Tyree Wilson was largely ineffective in his rookie year, yet the Raiders still put out a top 10 scoring defense for the first time in 22 years. This unit would be a top 5 group with Witherspoon. The Seahawks star finished with a 2023 PFF grade of 84.1, placing 4th among corners. This is the exact weapon Vegas would need to slow down Patrick Mahomes and the plethora of elite QBs in the AFC. Number 8, Atlanta Falcons, Bijan Robinson. Yeah, we know how much running backs are devalued, and we know how widely panned this pick was at the time. But even though Arthur Smith couldn't figure out how to use Robinson properly, he did finish with 1,463 yards of offense and 8 touchdowns. Now that we know the Falcons have their new star QB in Kirk Cousins, the Robinson pick looks a lot better in hindsight. The Atlanta offense is going to be going off in 2024. Number 9, Philadelphia Eagles from Chicago Bears, Christian Gonzalez. Gonzalez was a beast for the New England Patriots in his 4-game appearances, and it's a darn shame that he suffered a season-ending injury in Week 4. The Eagles had the league's 2nd worst pass D in 2023, and it contributed to their embarrassing late-season collapse. So in this do-over, Howie Roseman takes the big-bodied shutdown corner to ensure that his pass D isn't carved up like turkey again. Number 10, Chicago Bears from Philadelphia Eagles, Kobe Turner. The offensive line was a need here, but Peter Skoronski, Paris Johnson Jr., and Darnell Wright, Chicago's initial pick, all had very tough rookie years. Rams star Kobe Turner led all rookies with 9 sacks last season, so please excuse us for dreaming of a Turner-Montez Sweat pass rushing tandem that would help the Chicago D regain its elite form. Number 11, Tennessee Titans, Will Levis. We liked what we saw from Levis as a rookie in Tennessee last year, so in a do-over, there is absolutely no way that he would slip to them in round 2. Instead, the Titans keep it safe and get their hopeful franchise QB here instead of retaking Peter Skoronski. Knowing they added Calvin Ridley and Tony Pollard in 2024 free agency, the Titans can feel pretty confident in Levis taking that next step in 2024. Number 12, Detroit Lions from Arizona Cardinals, Jahmyr Gibbs. Just about everybody hated this pick for the Lions. Again, the RB position is devaluing more and more each and every year. Plus, they already had an RB1 in David Montgomery. But obviously, Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes envisioned something that the naysayers didn't. Despite missing 2 games and playing second fiddle to Montgomery, Gibbs racked up 1,261 yards of offense and 11 total touchdowns. Gibbs was pivotal in helping the Lions win their first division in 30 years. And their first playoff game in 32 years. They dropped a heartbreaker to the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC title game, but it was just the start of something very special in Motown. And well, Gibbs is going to be playing a huge role in that. Number 13, Green Bay Packers from New York Jets, Sam Laporta. Jordan Love had a nice set of good pass catchers last year, but I mean, none of them were really Pro Bowl caliber. Well, here's their chance to pull off the double whammy by getting a future superstar in Sam Laporta while also thwarting him from shining with the division rival Lions. Laporta had 89 receptions for 889 yards and 10 touchdowns on a star-studded Detroit offense. He could have easily emerged as Love's favorite target in a young and deep Green Bay offensive unit. Number 14, Pittsburgh Steelers from New England Patriots, Broderick Jones. Yeah, no change here for Pittsburgh's original selection. The O-line was the main problem heading into last year's draft, and the Steelers knew that year 1 would include some growing pains for Jones. He was rock solid as a rookie and hasn't come close to hitting his full ceiling. The Steelers were right to think long-term, so they just keep the selection the same in this exercise. Number 15, New York Jets from Green Bay Packers, Peter Skoronski. The Jets' pathetic O-line put Aaron Rodgers under duress during his first drive with his new team, and that culminated with a very tragic season-ending Achilles tear. With the mulligan, GM Joe Douglas doesn't even consider neglecting the O-line. Skoronski had an up-and-down rookie year, sure, but he would be a way better option than any other starting tackle that the Jets used in 2023. Number 16, Washington Commanders, Joey Porter Jr. Emmanuel Forbes had a very frustrating rookie year in DC. There's time for him to grow into a star, but the Commanders would surely be more keen on Joey Porter Jr. in this spot. Porter Jr. appeared in 11 games last year and still racked up 10 pass breakups. Per Pro Football Reference, Porter Jr. had allowed just a 47.6 passer rating when targeted, and just 1 TD in coverage. Yeah, that is the guy that Washington's awful defense needs. Number 17, New England Patriots from Pittsburgh Steelers, Jordan Addison. The Patriots' offense was unwatchable in 2023, and the lack of playmaking receivers was a major reason as to why. So now imagine if Bill Belichick changed that with a redo.
Please come to New England.
That's a Patriot fan right over there.
I beg of you, Jordan. We need you.
Yeah, but that would work for you, I imagine, right?
Yeah.
Addison caught 70 passes for 911 yards and 10 touchdowns, despite not having Kirk Cousins for most of the year in Minnesota, and despite playing third fiddle to TJ Hawkinson and Justin Jefferson. Sounds like a capable WR1 in Foxborough to us. Number 18, Detroit Lions, Brian Branch. Branch somehow fell to the Lions in round 2 at number 45 overall, and the do-it-all defensive back played a vital role in the team's 2023 renaissance. With Branch on the board, Detroit takes no chances. They select Branch now and hope their initial pick at 18, Jack Campbell, is still available in round 2. Number 19, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tyree Wilson. We know Wilson had a rough rookie year in Las Vegas, but we'd like to think that Todd Bowles could unlock his potential immediately. The fierce and scrappy Wilson would be tailor-made for the Bucs' ultra-aggressive and blitz-heavy defense, and working with Vita Vea and Levante David would be a nice luxury for Wilson's development. Number 20, Seattle Seahawks, Paris Johnson Jr. With Seattle in a retooling phase, they think long-term and take the initial number 6 pick of 2023. Johnson Jr. was inconsistent at best in his rookie year with Arizona, but the Seahawks would be foolish to pass on the chance to pair Johnson Jr. with another potential long-term cornerstone and offensive tackle in Charles Cross. Number 21, Los Angeles Chargers, Zay Flowers. We know that 2023 was the last year for Keenan Allen and Mike Williams in Chargers uniforms, so this should be a pretty easy pick for LA. Quentin Johnston was a non-factor in his rookie year. This exercise lets LA fix the mistake by taking Zay Flowers, who caught 77 passes for 858 yards and 5 TDs in the Baltimore Ravens' rush-first offense. Number 22, Baltimore Ravens, Jackson Smith-Njigba. The Ravens struck gold with their first-round pick of Flowers, but he's not available in this redraft. So instead, John Harbaugh and company rolled the dice on Jackson Smith-Njigba. Without fighting DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett for targets, JSN could easily emerge as the new top pass catcher for Lamar Jackson and company. Number 23, Minnesota Vikings, Rashee Rice. Minnesota is obviously thrilled that a 2023 draft redo is impossible since they aced the Jordan Addison pick. But they have to choose someone in this imaginary exercise. Rashee Rice played a pivotal role in the Chiefs' Super Bowl championship season, catching 79 passes for 938 yards and 7 touchdowns. Rice would be the perfect running mate for Justin Jefferson and Minnie. Number 24, New York Giants from Jacksonville Jaguars, Tank Dell. The Giants' QBs were once again let down by the lack of an explosive pass catcher, with the Darren Waller trade and Jalen Hyatt third-round selection not panning out as hoped. Tank Dell is a beast for the Texans in year one, racking up 47 receptions for 709 yards and 7 touchdowns in 11 games before suffering a season-ending injury. Dell would immediately slot in as the Giants' new #1 receiver. Number 25, Buffalo Bills from Jacksonville Jaguars, Tyreek Stevenson. The Bills bid farewell to mainstays Tre'Davious White, Micah Hyde, and Jordan Poyer as part of their makeover on defense. Since hindsight is a luxury here, they take the best remaining corner in Tyreek Stevenson, a ball-hawking sensation who had 4 picks, 16 pass breakups, and 2 forced fumbles for the Bears last season. Number 26, Dallas Cowboys, Darnell Wright. Dallas lost future Hall of Fame offensive tackle Tyron Smith in free agency. They didn't know this would be the case at the time, but Jerry Jones thinks long-term by snagging Smith's successor in Wright. The Bears youngster had a frustrating rookie year in Windy City, but learning from Smith and Zach Martin would most certainly make Wright NFL ready for 2024. Number 27, Jacksonville Jaguars from Buffalo Bills, Josh Downs. The Jaguars now know that Calvin Ridley wasn't going to re-sign in 2024, so they quickly planned for a replacement by stealing Josh Downs from the Colts, who snagged the North Carolina product with the number 79 pick. Downs caught 68 passes for 771 yards and 2 TDs with Gardner Minshew as his primary QB. Now imagine what Downs would do with Trevor Lawrence slinging it to him. Number 28, Cincinnati Bengals, Byron Young. To clarify, we are talking about the Rams' Byron Young, not the Raiders' Byron Young, who also was fittingly a third-round pick last year. The Rams' Byron Young emerged as a superstar with 8 sacks and 2 forced fumbles in his rookie year. He'd be the perfect sidekick for Trey Hendrickson, who sorely needs some pass-rushing support in the jungle. Number 29, New Orleans Saints from Denver Broncos, Ivan Pace Jr. The Vikings hit a grand slam when they signed Pace as an undrafted free agent out of Cincinnati. In a do-over, he is a first-round pick. Pace, like Saints star Demario Davis, is a do-it-all workhorse who flies all over the field. Having flourished as a run-stopping force and a prolific pass rusher, Pace would be a perfect addition to a Saints front 7 led by Davis and Cameron Jordan. Number 30, Philadelphia Eagles, Devon Achane. The lightning-fast Achane had 800 rushing yards and 8 rushing scores despite missing 6 games for the Miami Dolphins in his rookie year. Now just imagine if he got to run behind the league's best run-blocking unit. DeAndre Swift was solid in his one-year stop with the Eagles, but they took a calculated risk signing the oft-injured Saquon Barkley. So how about saving valuable dollars here by taking Achane, who would be an absolute dream fit in the Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown-led offense. Number 31, Kansas City Chiefs, Jaden Reed. The Chiefs would not have won the Super Bowl without Rashee Rice last year. The rest of the wide receiver room was just so maddening to watch. But with Rice unavailable here, the Chiefs take the best option available in Jaden Reed, who put up 793 yards and 8 touchdowns with the Packers last year. Surely he'd be even more dynamic with Patrick Mahomes throwing him the ball. But hey, which changes would you make to our 2023 NFL first-round redraft? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.